Hey there, it's Dave, Master of Time from Scribe, and today I'm going to be reacting or discussing the reaction video to our song Jack by Tin Overman over on YouTube, on Tim Reacts. So yeah, looking forward to this. He did a video of ours recently, Raising a Dead, where he was able to kind of break it down, discuss it, and got all the points, which is great. Understood our story concept, which is always great when, as the videographer for the band, when I put the music videos together, it's always great when people absolutely follow the story. So we'll find out how he gets on with Jack, and hopefully I'll answer some of his questions. So with his video, I'll pause it at points if there's anything I need to discuss, or we'll go through it at the end. But I'll try to let his flow, and it'll just be if he raises any topical points or question marks or anything like that, and I'll try to fill in the details for both him and for you at home. So yeah, let's get to this. This is Tim Reacts over on YouTube. Go give him a check out, and yeah, let's click it into his video.
Hey there, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Today I'm going to be doing a patron shout-out request for Mike G. Mike has been a fantastic supporter of mine. I really can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me, and he's had me listen to some amazing music. This month is no different. He has me listening to a second song from a band he introduced me to last month. It's going to be Scribe with their song Jack. I really enjoyed the first song from Scribe, and I got a little surprise Mike G told me about. Scribe's drummer Dave actually did a reaction to my reaction and gave some pretty cool information about the band and how things went.
So one thing I always like to do is if someone is going to spend the time to react to our content, I should at least, apart from obviously shouting out on our socials about that, to give some viewers, etc., or try to direct some traffic to these people. I also like to do these reaction videos to them purely on the basis that I think it gives a good insight, and also it helps the reactor answer some questions, get some questions answered. We do it the same with ADK. And of course on my Dave Reacts channel. I love it when I get comments on it and feedback from the band, because they're the best to answer your questions when you watch any sort of video. So yeah, no, more than welcome, Tim. Let's get on.
And how the video was done. So it was very surprising, and I can't thank Dave enough for doing that video. I really enjoyed watching it. Sorry about there was an on-screen flub from me, or text flub from me on my original video. For some reason, when I said that, on my patron shout out, you'll see it right now over down in this corner, I put patron shout out and the name of the person. I said Mike G, but for some reason I had done a bunch of videos at the same time, and I had put Dan L, who was one of my other patrons, in the text. I said the right name, but I didn't write the right name. This time, if I'm pointing at anything but Mike G right now, then I have made another very embarrassing mistake. But of course, it was a video that a member of the actual band did that I messed up on. But anyways, that was a fantastic video. I loved watching his reaction to me. I really appreciate that, and I really enjoyed the song. So excited for this. I believe this is one of the songs that Jack is the primary, or Jack is the song. This is the song, one of the songs that Dave said is one of his. He was a primary writer on, which is very.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. So for those that are interested in songwriting, particularly, so the way that Scribe works is everyone in the band writes tracks, ideas, riffs, etc. Sometimes you'll just bring a riff to the band, and everyone will kind of expand on it, and we'll either build it in the studio or add it. Someone else will have got another riff that someone's written, and we'll kind of see if we can smash them together. In other contexts, we'll have an entire song that might have a lot of the riffs changed, but we'll use the structure of the song. But on volume 1, what we had was a series of songs. So Raising the Dead, pretty much apart from the lyrics and the solo, was pretty much how the demo was written by myself. There's 2 others on the album. So Witchfinder General, that's pretty much the same with solo, and vocals are different because they weren't what I wrote for the vocals. I think with Kim I sent the track without any lyrics or melodies over, so she could be completely free. With this song, Jack, it was the last song written for Volume 1. We had another song that we were working on, and it was kind of had like a Viking vibe, but when we demoed it, it just didn't sound right. So my dog's growling. Oi, shut up, you muppet. Joy of dogs. Oi, sit down. Smudge, stop it. Growling at people out in the street. Yes, thanks for that. At what is the time? 5 in the morning. So Jack was basically written with we had this other Viking track, the vocals, and it wasn't meshing when we went through the demo tracks. So it meant that we really needed one more song. That we were quite close to finishing tracks as far as like guide tracks for actually recording. And I presented Jack as a complete idea, including vocals for the chorus, which would stay the same. A lot of the lyrics have just been tweaked. So in Kim's case, she took a lot of like the lyrics about the times and just kind of rephrased some of the wording, but the actual story timeline of the lyrics were exactly the same. And a lot of talk about in the year and the 1918 or whatever it was I wrote, that sort of thing. All of that was as is how I wrote the lyrics. She changed the lyrics on the second half of the verse, the melody to this kind of megaphone spoken vocal kind of bit. It was spoken vocal, but it was slightly different. But the chorus was basically the same. Yeah, and so again on this one, it was just a case of mainly some tweaks to the lyrics and of course solo. But the main riffs and stuff were all written and were just adopted straight on. It's probably one of the closest songs that sounds riff-wise quite similar to the old band Nothing Gained, which I also contributed songwriting to on that one, and that's also one of the reasons why the drum fill on the chorus on this song is actually taken from a Nothing Gained track called Taste of Power, which obviously with myself and Use on guitar both being members of Nothing Gained, it's a kind of a little nod back to our old band. So there you go. Anyway, that's me waffling along and telling the dog off, so let's carry on with Tim's video.
Very cool. As a former drummer, I love it when drummers get to do cool stuff and get to write the music. Although, granted, I was not a good drummer, but I could keep a beat. That was my claim to fame. I could keep the beat. That's all I did really. But I'm really excited for this one. I've heard Mike said this is one of their best ones, and I'm just excited for it. This is going to be very cool. So let me go ahead and switch on over. And here we go with patron shout-out request, excuse me, for Mike G of Teller Scribe with the song Jack. Starting in jail is never okay. I love the kind of just, when you walk into a room and a band hasn't quite started yet. Hey, Jorah.
Where my darkness did descend.
Okay, this is interesting. When they, at the beginning it was black and white, and it said in like 18 whatever it was, in a jail cell, and I made the joke of never be a good thing to start in a jail cell. Depends on what you did. It could have been fun, but I love this modern feel it has right now. You've got these guys in modern rock T-shirts and metal T-shirts and stuff. It's almost like the video is a modern retelling of Jack the Ripper. I'm assuming that's what this is about. The Jack is Jack the Ripper.
So yeah, basically that is what the song is, or this particular track was about. And yes, we decided to try it and work out a way of, whereas we like on our music videos to try and be period based, so we did with Raising the Dead. We kind of dressed up, went to Cambridge, shot the video in the early hours of the morning, all dressed up in like kind of semi-period garb, flat caps and stuff like that. We realised there was no way we were going to get Victorian London, so we tried to work out a way of doing a modern retelling of that story, sort of. But we also wanted it to be humorous, so this was one of the few videos where we wanted to add more elements of comedy into the video. I wanted to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek while still doing getting the point of Jack the Ripper story across, and how did we make it into a modern retelling. So let's see if Tim gets all the rest of the references.
And the time frame of what they're singing about is right. But that was cool. I like the modernization in the video of the story. Jill sounds fantastic too, by the way.
After all these years, I'm just an old age man. I've kept my life behind my eyes. In my private hell, the devil walks on by. He knows my name and my cries. They call me
Ooh, I like that turn.
Jack. Just Jack. They walk the streets at night. They pass their
Okay, I liked that turn going into the chorus. That it got dark and thick and just badass. That was cool.
eyes.
It's almost really upbeat right here.
In my private hell, the devil walks on by. He knows my name and my cries. They call me just Jack. Just Jack. They walk the
So just gonna pick up a couple of bits that sort of Tim mentioned, the twist from that kind of upbeat section to the darker tone was very much intentional. So when I wrote the lyrics for Jack, the original lyrics, the kind, because like there's a bit where she goes, "In my private hell, the devil walks on by." I think the original lyrics were, "In my private cell, the inmates walk on by," because the concept was I think the original idea was the song was Jack the Ripper was in prison, but for a completely different crime. No one knew what his name was. No one knew what his crime was that he was in. He was in there for like some sort of petty theft or something like that, but something other than being Jack the Ripper. And the whole idea is it's almost him recounting back his life at old age in prison, knowing that no one knew who he was, and that's why he was like, they call me Jack, just Jack, because they don't know him as Jack the Ripper, they just know him as Jack. So that was the reference. And also the upbeat is, if you think about it, when it's upbeat, it's like he's looking back at it fondly. The devil was on by. And then the switch up is his Jekyll and Hyde personality. So his persona of what he puts on to the public is the nice and friendly, and then that switch to Jack, just Jack, is his effectively what he was like as Jack the Ripper. So we kind of intentionally wanted to make it a kind of split Jekyll and Hyde, split personality type part of the song, and be very much recanting the tale, hence why you have that prison cell at 1918 at the beginning. apparently being Jack in prison, locked up. So that's kind of where we tie it back into. But obviously, hopefully, we'll see if Tim picks up how that ties into what's going on in modern day. So let's keep going.
Streets at night, they pass their favors for a price. See me as a prize, but never once they saw my knife.
A surgeon's hand, a butcher, a man of mystery, with a darkness deep inside. In the streets I walked, sly and subtle-bred, I took my trophies from within.
After all these years, I'm just an old age man. I've kept my life behind my eyes. In my private hell, the devil walks on by. He knows my name and my cries. They call me just Jack. Just Jack. After all these years, I'm
Okay, that was cool. The solo was very cool. I believe the lead guitarist was Michael. Very cool, short but very intense solo. I'm kind of locked in on the story. I'm loving the he's following each of the band members and taking them out. The story in the song is matching up so well with the story of the video, but it's like in two different time periods. Yusuf is the other guitar player, very cool. The bass player Dan, killing it. Kim's vocals are really good, and I'm loving in the that there's a lot of layering of her voice. That it's not the same melody. She's singing the main melody, and then the underlying that is some very cool, counter melodies as she's harmonizing with herself.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the melody. So this was an interesting one. This is so how Kim does vocals. So we don't really hear the vocals for the track until pretty much album time. So she's always working the vocals out in the studio. We get kind of a rough idea. We get a rough idea on the guide, and then by the time we get to the actual album, there'll be tweaks and changes, and it'll have massively evolved. But what she tends to do, she records hers at her place. Sets up a little booth area, and then she will just literally layer it. And she'll have her main vocal line that she does, and then she does a series of different counter melodies. And I think on Jack she did 3, maybe 4 different harmony melodies, and she sent them all over to Yusuf for the mix and says pick which one you like. And so he brings them all into the mix, and then he'll sometimes just pick one on certain songs, sometimes he'll pick 2. I think on this one he ended up layering all the different counter melodies, and it wasn't intentional to have that many counter melodies, but he just put them all in and was like, yeah, I really like how this is sounding with these different 3 or 4 different vocal lines going off in different places, and it works really well. It is a little bit unnerving when you've got it on the headphones. You're like, where's she going with that vocals? That one's going lower, that one's going up higher, and then you've got the core one in the middle, sort of thing. So I think it might be just 2 counter melodies on top of the main vocals. But yeah, it wasn't an intentional part when we did the recording. It was purely a case of Kim likes to give options for mixing to see what, and then basically they'll get sent out and we'll hear all the different versions of different counter melodies, and we'll have kind of like, we prefer that one. Same very much with solos. If there's a different kind of solo idea on an album, Mike will send various versions of solos. If I'm thinking of drums, I might try a couple of different drum patterns or drum fills to see how a song was, and then we'll send it back out and go what's people's preferences. And it's kind of rather than spending and wasting time in the studio trying to work those bits out, people will work in their own world and just send it over via like WhatsApp, and people just have a listen and go, yeah, I prefer version 1, version 2, etc. So yeah, that's how that one kind of came about.
possibly with the guys in there also. But it's a killer song. I'm digging this song. I found myself just like buried into the music. It's so good.
After all these years, I'm just an old age man. I've kept my life behind my eyes. In my private hell, the devil walks on by. He knows my name and my cries. They call me just Jack. Just Jack.
Interesting background conversations to make it an atmosphere. So you got Jack writing the book, and back in the day, Jack the Ripper, and then this modern day guy finds it and starts taking over his job.
Yeah, basically, you got it right, Tim. So that was exactly the idea. So this is also a crossover of appearances. So we have the wonderful Lee, who is the drummer from Scarlet Envy, doing the playing the villainous copycat Jack in our video. So that's great. Which is also so Scarlet Envy is the band that Dan, Mike, and Kim also play in. Is their other band, and Lee is the drummer for that. And I've appeared in some Scarlet Envy videos in a cameo role. So we kind of it's quite a good kind of crossover of bands, and I've done a lot of their videos and helped out and stuff like that. So we felt it was great to have Lee come over and support Tellers. So yeah, it's basically that. The only major difference was we didn't feel like going down doing like Whitechapel and killing off prostitutes, because that was what the original story was about. We felt it far more humorous just to kill, because we didn't want to do a performance element to the video, but we wanted to include the band, and we thought it was far funnier that Lee killing off every member of the band that he's part in, and also his effectively his rival, if you like, band as well, if you like. So it was quite funny just to do it there. There's a lot of little novelty elements to it, but humorous. That's hence why the fun part.
If it was Jack the Ripper specifically, or just random murderer, but the choice of the name Jack, I know Jack the Ripper actually went after prostitutes specifically, not just any random person, but I feel like it was maybe the inspiration for this modern guy. That was killer. That was a patron shout request from Mike G of Teller Scribe with Jack. I like that song a lot. I love the chorus, was so thick and just badass. Very, very cool song. Really, really enjoyed that. These guys are talented. They're really freaking good. They have a sound. They have a very unique sound, and I'm really digging it. This was really cool. Mike, thank you so much for your support. It really does mean everything. I really appreciate it. Mike's been a patron for a while now. If the guys and gals from Teller Scribe sees this, you guys are badass. I really appreciate y'all's music. Y'all are really good. But I dug this a lot. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.
Okie dokie, there we go. So that was Tim Reacts checking out our Jack. So just a big thank you to him for doing that. Well done for picking up all the references. Not many people do. People either focus either on the video or the song, but you picked up all the audio and video clues. Thank you for the support of obviously checking out Telescribe. We're busy now working on album 2. Obviously the first album was all myths, legends and lore. with things like Hail Mary and stuff like that. And I know the second album currently is being focused around the true stories around things like the Grim Tales, and it's the format of what we're going. We've got Red Riding Hood origin story in there. We've got story of Bluebeard. We've got a few other ones in there that we're working on. So we've got a lot of tracks. We have a lot to work through. We've got a lot of demos done. I think at the moment we've got either rough ideas for various tracks submitted from different people. There's over 20 at the moment to go through, and I know the new album will probably only be 8 tracks, so a lot of those will be moved into album 3. We've set ourselves at 8 being the kind of average number, so we did 8 on the first. We don't want to be consistent, so we'll be doing 8 on the second. We don't see any reason to try to cram loads in. And that's what we're focusing on for 2026, is to get this album written, be happy with it, get the format that we want to deliver it in, because that's still being decided. How, obviously the first album we did it in this wooden box format, so what are we going to do for the second album? And obviously PR and press, and then obviously we have the music videos, because we did 8 music videos for the first album, so my intention as the videographer is to do the same for the second. But I need to have a look at what we're going to do with those and how we're going to release those. So we've got lots to plan, lots to do. So keep watching Telescribers, and thank you again to Tim for checking out Jack. And yeah, hope you check out some more in the future. Thank you very much, and thank you to the subscribers. Take care.